video that I was supposed to edit, right? It was when Hyde came to Boston, and it's pretty much chopped into pieces, but because it's so old, I've just decided not to edit it. But I had a story that I wanted to tell about Hyde that made me gain so much more respect for him, if that's even possible. It definitely made him feel a little bit more human. You know, it's not that I don't see these people as human, but it's like you don't get a chance to see certain behavior from them because they are famous, you know, they're stars. And one of the reasons why I wanted to go to Boston to see him so bad is because I knew it would be kind of like a more intimate type of setting. Hyde is so famous in Japan. Obviously, if he's playing somewhere, it's going to be like a huge crowd of people. It's Hyde, vocals of Larkincio, like he's a big deal, versus coming to America where of course some people know him, but he isn't as big of a deal. Quickly I bought a ticket. The venue was pretty small, and me and my cousin dressed up. We made a trip to Boston. Y'all know I do not like going to Boston because the quality of people there is ugh. We were waiting in line. We were like, oh my God, we're gonna go see Hyde. We've only listened to his music our entire childhood. This was a big deal for us, and I had already been crying from the Gazette concert, so I was ready to cry when seeing Hyde. I didn't cry. I did a good job. I didn't cry. But anyways, we were super excited, and then we see this other girl. She passes by. It's an Asian girl, and I'm probably gonna draw a picture and like put it here of what she was wearing. But she was wearing a shirt, and it had like frills along here where you could see like her collar, and it was like cut at the stomach. She looked good. For some reason when I say that it sounds bad, but she looked really good. She was wearing a nice skirt, a little bit less dressed, you know, she was showing more skin than a lot of other people that were there, and people were giving this girl the dirtiest looks. And for me it was just like, girl, you look good, but I would feel nervous to show that much skin just because I don't exactly feel comfortable in Boston. I don't know her life and her comfort level, but she looked good. Okay, she looked beautiful. She had her hair down, straight, long down to her back, and she was on a mission, okay? And that's what this video is gonna be. It's gonna be mostly about this girl. Wherever you are, I hope you were living your best life. Anyways, we went into the venue, and we ended up having a lot of fun. A lot of people who came to see the show, I think, came on the basis of Hyde's older music, which is fine. The new album that he released, I had only known like 1 or 2 songs on that album, but I wasn't gonna miss seeing that man. I don't care. So I think because a lot of people weren't familiar with his newer stuff, the crowd was just very lukewarm, in my opinion. It was amazing because, you know, I was watching him perform and kind of get to a point where he was able to control the crowd and get the crowd riled up. And I kind of wondered, I wonder if it is thrilling to go to a place where you're not as famous and you're not as known, where people don't hype you up so much immediately and you're actually able to put more effort into doing it. I wonder if there's like a thrill that comes with that. I kind of wonder that. I don't know Hyde's mind, but I wonder if that was thrilling for him. He's performing here, the crowd's here, everybody's kind of just standing there, and then on the side there's a whole bunch of people standing there as well. I'm gonna draw a picture so people will be able to see. The girl who we had saw, who was dressed that way, she was on the side. She wasn't able to get super close to the stage where I'm pretty sure the diehard fans were at. Again, how I mentioned that it was going to be a more intimate type of atmosphere because he's coming from Japan to America. I wonder for them if it was an experience that they might not be able to have, whether in Japan or whatever Asian country they're coming from, because he's such a big star. Like, I wonder for them if that was life-changing to be able to be that close to him, because they were right up there right where he was performing. And I know had he been performing in an Asian country, it would be harder to be that close to him. Honestly, I had a lot of thoughts during this concert that I wanted to share, since I'm not going to be posting that concert video. I'll probably post some clips of Hyde performing in this video though. Anyways, the girl was on the side and she was further away from the stage, so there was this whole side where people were just standing as Hyde performed. When I tell you, if you thought the center, the crowd on the side was pretty much dead. Then you had this girl, hands on the railings on the side, headbanging. Her hair was flailing all over the place every single song. I don't know if she knew every single song, but She was putting in the work to those songs, okay? Every single song that he was singing, every single part he performed on that stage, she was having the time of her life. People were like backing away from her, looking at her like this, because she was, you know, headbanging. She was flailing her hair on the bars, like doing her little thing. And she was so cute. She was headbanging her little heart out the entire concert, smiling. She was the most vibrant person in that section, even though it was the further section away from the stage. So she was extremely noticeable. I don't know if Hyde did an encore or not, but at some point the concert comes to an end. Everybody is screaming because Hyde has done a great job at working up the crowd to a certain point. I'm making a video about born performers. I don't know if it'll be out by the time I put this video out, but Hyde is definitely a born performer. Not to go off on a tangent, but one thing that I really like that he would do is people would pull up their cameras to record him, and he would look into their cameras. Like, he would bring his face into their cameras and be looking directly in the camera and singing. And I really like that because as a performer from an older generation, there seems to be this animosity when it comes to technology and bringing phones into concerts. I do understand to a certain degree, but just to have somebody who is that age who just simply meshes and goes with the flow. Obviously, the rules and concert etiquette in Japan is going to be different, but that didn't seem to be an issue for him. The more cameras were in his face, he was just looking at all the cameras, staring into there, singing into the cameras, and I was just like, I love this man. So much respect, so much love, adoration. Now that I put that out there, again, since that video will just never see the light of day. The concert was ending. I think he did an encore. He either did or didn't, I don't remember. And everybody was cheering. I'll be back. He ended up getting ready to walk off the stage. He pauses in the middle of getting ready to walk off the stage, and he goes, like, the stage is right here and it kind of connects. So stage is here. This is the bar where the girl is standing. So he walks and stops, and then all of a sudden he walks into the crowd that is at the side railing directly where she is, and he just throws himself into the crowd. She is able to touch him. Just the way, the movements that he made and the way he did that, I was absolutely positive that he did that because of her, because she gave so much great energy during the concert. He knew that was one of his die-hard fans, and he definitely wanted to show that he recognized her. Putting in the work, headbanging to every song, being the most supportive type of fan that she possibly could be. She got to hold him, and it lasted for maybe a couple seconds, and then he went back, and I looked at her, and she was like shaking, and she started crying, breaking down into the happiest tears, bawling. And I was just standing there watching her as people were like leaving, getting ready to leave. And I was just smiling, and I was like, good for her. She deserved to have her energy reciprocated, because it's very difficult being in a crowd of people who aren't hyped up and being the only one who remains hyped and excited during the entirety of a concert. It was very touching. I just thought about Hyde, and I was just like, this man is a very kind person. He is a very aware person, and it just made me gain way more respect for him. So it was very touching. She was standing there, she was crying, and I was looking at her and I was smiling, and then we had to go off and we were like, let's go buy some Hyde merch. I have the Hyde shirt in my closet from the concert. And I just think of that every time I see Hyde. I think of when he did that, how he recognized her efforts and gave her something to take home with her. I'm sure she will remember that moment forever, because she was definitely a die-hard Hyde fan, okay? Most hardcore Hyde fan I'd ever seen in my life. Girl, if you out there, good for you. It's what you deserve. like you get to touch, like, oh, this feels so parasocial, but it's like if I touched somebody, like, okay, Hyde, obviously, but if I got to touch somebody's hand, like Tatsuro, do you know, like, are we gonna wash you? Because I feel like we can go a good week without. That's gross. I'm sorry. I would simply pass away. But anyways, a couple days ago, it was Hyde's birthday, and I thought that would be the perfect opportunity to tell this story the week of Hyde's birthday. So I hope you guys enjoy this story, and I love him. I love his voice. I was listening to Lark NCL this morning, and I was just like, to be a legend.